So I wanted to show you how to use CloudFlare's access feature to protect your WordPress administration login via two-factor. So there's a couple ways you can do the two-factor, but I just want to show you how I have this set up. It's really quick to set this up, and it blocks everything from the WP login and WP admin. So the WP login.php is a file, and then WP admin directory. And you can have multiple users on this. It's pretty easy. I like it because it's blocking it at CloudFlare, so anybody who's trying to brute force it to the server won't be able to get directly to it. Now, I mean, they possibly could if they had an IP address and they could, use like a host file on their end and stuff like that to try to determine what the IP address is by bypassing CloudFlare, but that'd be pretty sophisticated. So I think that this is, it seems to make a pretty big difference as far as the number of attempts that I've got from scripts that are trying to just brute force into the WP admin area. So the first thing I've done is you have to enable access, and access is free for up to 5 users. So it'll ask you for a credit card, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to get billed for it. So I'm just having myself on here. I could add somebody else. So the login method that I'm using is a one-time PIN, and so let me show you how that works. So I'm loading the WP admin right here, and it's redirected me to this page. That's because I have already gone through the two-factor authentication. So, but now if I do this in the incognito window, what we'll see is CloudFlare is intercepting this. You can see there's cloudflareaccess.com. So then I'll have to put in my email address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I'm just going to do it on the side here. So now I get this, which is sending me a code via email. So it's a two-factor authentication code to my email address. And I'm waiting for it. Usually it's really quick. So while we wait for that, what I'll do is I'll show you how I have these access policies. So there's access groups. I created a group for me because the group is easier to do than the email address. And so on some other servers, I might have myself in a group that's admins, and then other people who might be like editors in a group called content. So if you create an access group, you can just call it, whatever, content. And you can say emails ending in. So like if you had, mydomain.com, so anybody at that domain can do it. Or you can use individual emails. There's IP address ranges. There's all sorts of options on this. So when I created the group, then I have my site here. Then I create an access policy, right? So this is what the blank one looks like, but I've already filled it out. So for the WP admin, I just put a wildcard for the subdomain, even though it is www. And then here's the directory or the path, if you will. So I have one for WP admin and one for WP login. I'll show you how that is. And then you have to give it a policy name. You can give it a duration, however long you want it to be for this two-factor authentication. And then you can choose how you want to. So even right here, you can put in email addresses if you want. But again, I chose groups. I prefer like role-based stuff. That way, if I change something in a group, it changes it everywhere if there's multiple ones, instead of having to go into each one of these. And there's some advanced settings, but you don't need to do any of that stuff. And then you just hit save. So I'm going to just revoke these tokens. I'm not going to make any changes. I'm just going to go ahead and revoke this token too. And I'm going to just redo these just so the audience tag and any of this personal stuff is no longer there. So let's try So I'm going to type in my email. Being slow today. Okay, so now I even got the second one. So this is what it looks like when you get these. So you can just click the link, or if you have the code. So this is my newest one. So I'll put the code in here. And it should let me into the login page. And there it is. So that's how one thing that I've done to protect from brute force attacks. That and it seems to help with not only less hacks, but also server load, because there's nothing that's hitting this for basically no purpose other than trying to break in. So there's no HTTP requests that are even reaching the server, let alone any kind of PHP overhead or anything like that. So hopefully that little tip helps you secure your WordPress install a little bit.